our feeding station. That's where we are putting our materials. That's the outer layer there, span bound, and the other outer layer is here. The purpose of these outer layers is to contain or keep the mold-blown material, which is the filterating material, and this is just a cotton film. So all this is controlled by this station. As it turns, all the feeders turn in sequence to release the material to the second station. In the second station, that's where we pick our nose bridge. This material here, that's where we put on the nose, and we collapse it to get a seal. On this station as well, we get our printing done here. It's binding all those materials. In this example, there are 4 materials. All of the 4 of them are bound together. Now they move as one sheet going forward. It comes to this station. On this station is a printing station. Very important for us. That's where we put our tracking number. That's where we know that's where we put our logo, tracking number, and certification. In this case, our certification number is coming. It's gonna be here. So it's still loading. So you see, that's our logo right there, and that's our lot number, and that's what we are making. So that's what comes through there. The whole bound material now moves on to the next station, which is our main station. Our main station, that's where we pick up those 2 slings. That's where it welds the straps, which we put on our masks. In this case, it's a head loop. So it's welded on this station. So when we started running, all this thing happens automatically because it's all controlled by a PLC system right underneath there. And those are the controllers right there. That's the brains of the machine. That's what happens here. So that's why we call this one our main station. Now all the material moves. Now we've got straps put on. They proceed. It gets to this station. The purpose of this station is just to fold the nose bridge so that it comes into 2 equal materials to form our masks. So it proceeds to this station. There is this small cylinder here. Its job is to pick the bottom strap and bring it forward so that it forms a loop like this. The reason is when it gets to the cutting station, this should not be cut. It's to save it. So it proceeds to the cutting station. All these you see is the air trying to direct stuff like the loops so that we don't crush it in the cutting station. Passes through here, cuts the masks, and goes on conveyor. Off it goes. The offcut goes that side for recycle. So in this situation, we have the 2 tables here where we sort. Those tables comes here, and we start sorting for the good material and the bad material, and it's stacked onto the packing station, on the packer. In our situation here, we just pack 2 masks per package. So it will be here, and everything should be automatic. From that, drops onto this. It counts 1, 2, moves on, picks up this film, goes through this guide, through the conveyor, packing the box, packaged, like that box right there. There are like 200 masks in that box. So we need 1 operator to do that. we need maybe 2 people sorting up and running this. 3 people can run this line. So we're going to have the second line. The second line is fully automatic. We need 1 operator to optimize our output. 1 operator can operate 2 machines, and there are just 3 people sorting out. That's what this looks like. So just for demonstration, we're going to run a little bit so that you see what's going on. To run this, we got the compressor. There's going to be a bit of some noise. Just take care of that. Yeah. So a couple of things going to happen. There's the light there. It's a warning. It's going to be a warning light to tell you that the machine is starting, so that everybody gets ready for that. Of course, I punch in my name so that the machine remembers me. This machine can produce 46 pieces a minute. The new machine will be 85 pieces a minute. That's how we are setting it up. You can imagine, with the material I showed you behind, how much we can produce in a day. You can do the math. So we're going to shut down for now. We don't want to waste too much material with the demonstration.
So thanks very much for the site tour. We're going to present you why we're here and some of our thoughts and our visions for the company. But before we proceed, we're going to start with an opening prayer. Pastor Vera, can you bless this event?
Let us pray.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this gathering and for what we are about to do. We thank you for your presence, for your guidance, for giving us wisdom and direction in everything we do. Be with each and everyone, Lord. We give you thanks and praise and honor for everyone and everything that we are going to do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I would like to thank everybody for coming to have time with us here, to see what we are doing as a company. I did a couple of presentations to the groups that we were in, a couple of groups so far, and most people were thinking, oh, can we have something we can touch? Can we have something we can feel? That's a huge difference. They call it brick and mortar. It's like someone selling, in Zimbabwe we used to call them briefcase companies. Someone has got all his companies' briefcase going around and says, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And it's a full lecture. Now, we purposely brought you here. Behind you, there's our material. We are capable of making over 1 million masks today. In those boxes, there's a filter material. And it was on purpose to have people come here. It's not a briefcase company. It is actual company. Thanks, Mr. Kemesi. Mr. Kemesi is from Sudan. He's joining us here. I like the idea that we are encompassing Africa as a whole and beyond. Today, I would just have to do a recap. I presented you the Red Water Landing, which is the real estate. I presented in some of my videos this manufacturing. So we're going to go a little bit back and run the manufacturing business. And there are a couple of things that we want to achieve today. Number one, we want to achieve building a relationship so that we can work together and go to the next stage. Everybody who came here, believe me, they all want to work with us. It is up to us to convince you that we can work together and get something. Hopefully the returns Mr. Vera is talking about, for sure. And he says again, there's risk. Everything else got a risk. The biggest risk I can tell you, Mr. Vera, today is getting in a plane. To me, that's the biggest risk of them all. When you think about getting in a plane on its own, it's one of the biggest risks a person can take. But you know why people get comfortable? So what happens is everybody goes in a plane and relaxes and sleeps and feels safe because they are engineers trained who have looked after that equipment and they've certified to you to say this equipment is good. And I put my signature on it. This equipment is to our standards. I think you have heard that my background is maintenance engineering. It's true. That's where my major is. So you would find the moment we certify some things to say, yes, this is good, it's gonna be good. This is why when you were in my first presentation, I was talking about PD, PPE, manufacturing. Everybody was saying, where is the product? We want the product today. Then we said we want the NEO certification. The reason is we are taking this certification to the...
National Health and whatever.
Yes, correct, Mr. Vera, correct. You are right. So this certification, we are giving it in hospitals to say, here is this product. It's certified by the standards. And it's going to meet the specs we say they do. We have shown you, some of you have shown you our quality manual. Some of you have shown you our specs. You're going to see behind our machine, there's our testing equipment. Anything that comes from here, we say it is good. Because that is the reason why we need certification. You see in my previous videos, I talk about masks. I say again, not all masks are the same. N95 is a filtration, like I was saying, is the best you can get on the market today. Some people start saying to me, oh, what about COVID? It's nothing to do with COVID. I've said that over and over again. It's more to do with the industry. Masks were always there. It's nothing to do with COVID. COVID boosts the numbers or reduces the numbers, but our market base is still there. Some people come to me and say, where's your market? It's not as important as producing a quality product that we rely on, like a person who goes in a plane and feels comfortable because we have said it's good and it's going to be good. So we have preached a lot of where do we go from now. In some of my videos, I was saying I wish groups could work together. This state-of-art equipment is trying to bring everybody here something you can touch, something you can feel. Today, when Pastor Vera goes home, he's going to say to Mr. Vera, we are putting money in this project because I was there. That's correct. I was there. I saw the product. He's not being told by Mugambiwa that we have this. You touch it, you feel it, you understand it. We are here. Obviously, we are paying a lot of money in this research. We've been doing this for months. We moved our equipment from Red Order to here. We have finished our setup. You're going to see a printed mask coming out. You're going to be given a sample. Until we get the certification, we're going to be seeing this is not our grand opening. The grand opening is coming later on. This is not yet our grand opening. The grand opening is coming. This is just getting to our investors to say, hey, guys, can we work together? So most people always say, we'll go to Africa, we'll go to Zimbabwe, we'll go to Tanzania. But I always say it's a working relationship. This relationship is like a marriage. Besides me and Mr. Mugambiwa being friends, we had our ups and downs working together for 2 years. We have proven through the ups and downs of running business. If we go to Zimbabwe, we are solid. We know that. We've proved it. So we are saying to you, can you come with us in the next stage? Right now, when we speak, when we got the line 1 running, we want to invest in line 2. That's where everybody comes in. We get our line 2 running. We got our line 3 running. By next year, September, according to our projections, will be in Zimbabwe. There is ongoing work today in one of the hospital facilities in Zimbabwe today. There will be a time when some people join us. You're going to be privy to that information. What we are looking at is replicating this kind of equipment. If you see in Canada and overseas here, you go in a hospital setup. Maybe you haven't noticed. There is a department where they do the x-rays, where they do all those things. It's a department which is not attached to the hospital. It's a different department. So we are in the process of working in Zimbabwe with the Department of Health to get a wing for our equipment similar to this. Chris was asking me today, he was saying, you put it back together. Yes, I did. We do most of the work. We understand what we do with the machinery. We play with it. So the idea is when it's up and running, we get a managing director to run this. We go there. I have no doubt people in Zimbabwe have the skills. They have the education. What they don't have is the equipment and the way going forward. If people invest with us today, the share is today. If you come 2 days to 3 days after or 3 months from now, who knows? Maybe we don't need you anymore. That's what it is. It's all business. So Zimbabwe is so interesting because we are getting a building. We as PD are negotiating with the officials there. Say, look, you guys, we are not going to pay you rent. We are helping people. We are giving back. We are giving back. We are not going to pay rent. We want it reduced. So when we do that, their building today is empty. They're losing the same power anyway. We pay our power bills. We are not going to pay rent. They give us the wing as they promise. So that is the approach we're going to be doing, right? So, sorry for that. So that is the big picture. Where are we today? We have motivated people, like I always say. We have given the people the energy. Everybody is aware of what they want to do. Show me how. I've been talking to Keith. Said, Keith, you're going to be speaking today because you're a teacher. That's what teachers do. They show you how. Until you perfect it. Until you know your game. That's all what it is about. That's all why we are here. I've talked to Moses and Godswill. I said, guess what, you guys? Everybody who is coming today wants to sign up with you. They already made their minds. I know Mr. Verre is going to sign. Definitely. I can believe it because the product is good. We understand what we are doing. We are proving what we are doing. 3/4 of people from Africa have lost money through a relative or something they were promised and didn't come out the way it was. 3/4. They are told this is going to happen. Can you sign here? Only to find you didn't read the small print. The small print was written that the money is gone and it's gone forever. That's what it is. That's the fears people have. We brought you to the facility. We showed you the facility behind you. I'll run the machine with you. I will show you what we can do. I'll prove what I can do. And we go together. It makes no sense to take everybody and go with them to Zimbabwe. Only to land and say, why are we here? So we're going to be having this session for that purpose. What next? That's why we are here. I will remind everybody by going back to my videos and run a little bit for the benefit of others to see why we are here today. I had another breakfast meeting there with my cousins there, the Jariches. It was a church event. I've got a video which I really liked. It will help us to recap to get, maybe some of you have seen it before. It's like we're trying to motivate the young fellas. We're trying to motivate everybody to try and work together. But what next is the biggest thing. Unfortunately or fortunately, the next step is action. I'll tell you the next step. The other thing is, we'll go with or without you, but we will go. Period. You are joining a vehicle which is moving. It's either you get on the bandwagon or you don't. The bandwagon goes on. This is how simple it is. I think, like I said before, everybody who comes to these sessions, they have the same mentality. They have the same drive. What next is the key. I'll tell you what's next. What's next is the action. That's what everybody's afraid of. But guess what? For you to do that, you need knowledge. You need to know what you are doing. That's why we are here. That's why I said we brought you here for a purpose. We brought you here in our warehouse. We're going to show you the machinery. We're going to run the machinery with you. At this time, we may open to question and answer a little bit.
Your cells, are they in thousands, hundreds, millions, or billions? You project yourselves.
Project yourself.
No, I know you can beat China. Show us the money. Show us the money.
And on the China question, right? We are apparently not competing with China.
Because if you manufacture this in China and resell them, everybody they're making this much in China and they just throw them away.
And you're right. So the Canadian government bought billions of Chinese, right, which they were stockpiling at the onset of COVID, and they're right now writing off billions of masks because they were substandard. Now, with this product, what we're doing is we're going after NIOSH approval, which is the best approval in certification in the world, right? So we'll be manufacturing a Mercedes-Benz type of N95, which is a 98% filtration efficiency.
Okay, so show us the money.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the same thing, Mr. Vera. Someone drives a BMW. Someone drives a Toyota. You would say, who buys a BMW? That's an expensive car. Some people want a BMW. If I'm going to buy a mask for my daughter going to school, I hear this one has got 95 filtration particles and the other one is 30. For my daughter, I'm going to buy the one that's 95. That's common sense. If we go to homes where he's running a couple of homes, we go to those homes where Keith is, and there is my father in there. He's old, he's in the 90s. What kind of mask do I give my parents? That's what it's all about. It's up to you. So, that material in the box, it has got some electromagnetic particles. It has a filtration ability. The other one is just holding that together. You see it on the machine when you run. If dust flies in this place, it just takes it up. That's what it captures that. That's what it's made for. The good thing about that product is made here in Canada. We are making a Canadian-made product. Not only that, our Britain product. That's one.
Show us the money yourself. Millions, thousands.
I know.
Or you go Kumbari. I was buying. I was in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
For 20 Makpacha, I'll get a mask. Everybody's selling a mask.
Yes.
Zimbabwe.
True.
And
Yes.
then throwing it away.
Here's a question for you. Can you bring the same mask and sell it here? Because of the standards, right? When we bought our machinery, it's Chinese made, but we standardize it to American standards. That machine is standardized to our American standards. You can go to China and buy a Xinjiang, or you can go to China and come out with an iPhone. It's all up to you. That's the whole point. So here is our numbers, Professor Vera.
Is it thousands, millions?
In this illustration, we have an estimation of about 9 million. In the
9 million?
yes. In the space, provided we bring in our second line. So that is the numbers you are asking about. But we are obviously not going to give you that. So we are saying, scenario number 3, right? Shareholders invest 100,000, you get 10% Classic C shares and 10% of 450,000. So that is the numbers. So that translates to a dividend of.
You beat Apple.
So this is the estimated value you get. Provided if you put 400.
45,000?
Yes.
If I put 45,000, how much do I get?
We have to prorate those numbers. So
Yeah.
30%.
Our company is selling, it's keeping 70% of its shareholding company. We are only giving 30% to potential investors. There are some people today who wants to buy close to 30 individuals. We can sell to the group. Here's why we want a group, why we prefer to sell to a group. Because of the future plans. We need more people, it reduces the risk. That is a fact.
So the return is 30% per dollar. So if I invest $1, out of $1, how much? Out of every dollar I invest, how much do I get back? 30%, right?
No,
Yeah, 30 cents.
30 cents.
So for every dollar I get 30 cents back. Eh?
Yeah?
What about Apple?
Okay.
Oh, Dr. French.
So here is another scenario we were presenting, right? Look at how much you get return at the bank level. Look at our return.
30%. Yeah,
So-
so the bank right now, how much interest they give? 0.1%?
Yeah, average 3%.
Oh, 2%.
Yeah, 2 to 3%.
Oh, in the bank.
In
Yeah.
the bank, yeah, if you.
Yeah, so
If you're lucky, right?
If you're lucky, if
So
you're lucky.
I know 1%.
1%.
1%, yeah, for TFSA is 1%.
Oh,
Yeah,
TFSA?
oh, go to bank, I might,
Oh, so, and we are promising what? 30%?
No, 6.6 is the ROI. 30% is the shareholding. So it's 30% of the shares that we are giving away. So we are giving a scenario that of
So out
30%
of every dollar, I expect what, 30 cents?
So here's the numbers. If you invest.
Come and sit closer so you can
Yeah.
see.
No, I can say I've got glasses. These are prescription glasses.
All right. So, for example, if you invest 100,000, this is at the bank, 1 to 3%, but we were generous, right? We said 3%. Then you could get your return from the bank about 3,000, right? But in our case, if you invest 100,000, you're gonna get 6.6% of 100,000, right? Which is double, which is double your return if you're going to the bank. That's one. Number two is at the end of every year, right? We're gonna pay out dividends. So the board of directors will sit depending on how good we do, right? So this can be 10%, can be 15%, depending on right on the resolution from the board at the end of say every quarter or annually.
So Anamara, did you get that? Save that for me. I don't have not. So out of every dollar, I know slides and everything is nice talking. So I want simple things. Right. So out of every dollar, yes, how much do I get?
6 cents.
Not Abwa. You know Abwa?
So these guys are the founders. They are the people, me and him, we used our money to buy all these things you see.
It's a risk.
It was not a donor.
It's risk. There's a lot of risk.
Yes. We are comfortable with it.
So
We are saying to investors, if we work together here, remember my videos, I'm always emphasizing one thing. We can work with you and prove that we can work together. We have a potential of scaling up the business. We know how. We have worked it. It reminds me when I started Redwater, it was a bare land. The risk was higher. But now they are buildings, brick and mortar. People can touch it. It's different. But you only expect to pay the same as that. It's now different. So when our machinery start producing those numbers here, we are not gonna, it's not a briefcase company. You're gonna come here and see we are still here. Our hope is in 3 months' time, you come here, you see another line running. Yeah, can I come in? Things have changed. That's all what it is about. That's all why we are here. So, any other questions? I can pull out another slide. Let's ask all questions. All questions are valid. They are good for you, and they are good for me as well.
And also, there's a breakout room next door. If someone wants to go into detail based on how much you think you want to invest, let's have a.
I've got a follow-up question.
Sure, we'll meet next door.
So if I invest $1 today, how long? How long will it last? How long will I get a dividend?
We declare dividend at the end of every year. That's when we are not going to be talking to you every month. Sure, we won't. We have got 70% of the company. Guess what? If you are not willing to wait for us for a year to give you a financial report like that, bye. We are going with or without. We are moving anyway. Get on the bandwagon.
Right,
so the breakout room is talking about, we have got Mr. Gambio as our CFO. So we put a lot of work in some of these details. I really like the question. The breakout room is there. We've got Moses here. He's going to help us in MOU. An MOU is a working document of serious people. This is just showing you what we have. There's going to be some serious people that will say, okay, can we meet one-on-one? Those questions are more valid. We are there. The breakout room is just next. We did that on purpose. It's not by mistake. We know that. The questions are valid. We want to answer the questions. They are good for us. They are good for you. So the next session will be a demo. Let's ask some more questions. You have the follow-up questions, Mr. Vera?
For you to get, you know that all these retirement programs in Canada and all that, and incentives from the banks and all that, something has got to be very, very attractive for me to put money into this. So tell me one thing. Okay, one thing. In one sentence, why should I give you my money?
Mr. Vera, that's a very good challenging question. That's a challenging question. You are ready for the answer. My father left Nyanyazi when he was 22 years old because his father died. Then he was told, you're going to marry tomorrow morning, Katros. Do you have a girlfriend? My father says, yes. Then the uncle said, get married tomorrow. From today onwards, you are not following your teaching career. You are now going to go to master farmer certificate. You're going to look after everybody. My father left me wealth or farm. Financial wealth is not only about you. It is about your generational wealth. That's what we are creating here. I can tell you the cost of feeding an elder person in Canada is about 6,000 a month if you are staying in old people's home. Very few people have got a good formula to do that. Very few. If you invest in this company, we are here. You write in your documents, your inheritance, your will, everything. Your kids will never disown you because you are giving them something. Believe me. We know the road. Right now, there are very few people with a plan. Right now, a solid plan. I came here 2001. Up to now, I'm still building a retirement plan, although I'm retired. But my plan, some people today don't even know where they're going to be buried if they die. They don't. Because they just like, don't touch it. But this is why we are doing this. If I help people, money will follow. Believe me. If I just don't help people, it's completely useless.
Okay, I've got another question. Because
Bring
we
it
have
up.
to be open about everything, right?
Yes.
There's another outfit by Zimbabweans, some kind of burial society or something, of which Anne-Marie, can you get on that?
What do you want to ask about?
That burial society
Organization. I hear you. I've heard of that too. There is
Can you
several.
tell us?
What is it to do with this?
No, we want to compare because this is a sales pitch. So we want people.
He's right. He's right. I hear your
There
question.
are a lot of sales pitches.
Okay.
And
I hear
we
your
have to
question.
compare.
I'll try to answer.
We have to compare because we have had so many sales pitches.
Correct. In those sales pitches, were you behind the shop where the machinery is there and the material behind you? It's different.
That is why you don't just go there and listen and give your money. You have to ask questions.
That's correct.
And there are a lot of salespeople, briefcase people. He could, snake oil. You know, a snake has no oil, right? he can sell you snake oil. That's what Donald Trump was. Donald Trump was a snake oil business salesperson.
Okay. So I'll ask you one question now. My chance to ask you, Mr. Vera.
Yeah.
What is your formula of retirement? Can you share with us?
No, just go to Zimbabwe and maybe die.
You know. This is the best part. Okay. Do you know that 3/4 of Canadians' retirement formula is winning a lottery?
No.
It is true. That's what they think. Mr. Mayor, I think you are really joking, because really, if that is your formula, we don't want you there as well. So anyways, any more questions? Yes, chemist.
So how long is it for the certification to happen?
I think
What's the time frame for the certification?
Certification, NEOS, certification.
the work is in progress. Right now,
Actually, it's Health Canada and Food Canada. For you to get certification, you can't put those masks out without certification. So
we are aware of that.
How long will it take?
So we are 75% complete. We are working with
75%?
with the authorities right now at the final review stage. So we just updated the final updates on our drawings and all the other stuff that they needed in material testing. We send in samples with different parameters that that they are reviewing, and they do have a backlog of stuff. So we are hoping in the next 3 months.
Yeah, okay, and then another thing is, of course...
wait, before I come back to you, is your question answered?
3 months.
So 3 months from now?
From now, yeah.
And then when will production start?
Production right now.
We're gonna run production because we kind of got some preliminary approvals. We know where we need to be. So right. So we're gonna stockpile, just start producing and stockpile. Just waiting for the approval.
Remember, we can sell without certification, but it looks like an ordinary mask. It's not gonna be selling at the amount. I hear a lot of people saying, how come yours is more expensive? Because it's a Mercedes-Benz. It's a Porsche. That's why.
So
we believe in the product.
Nobody in this room has got a mask anyway.
So we can make a 1-ply or we can downgrade and make a 1-ply or 2-ply. But what we are getting is a 4-ply. You can see all the four rows fed into the machine. So we can literally right now shut all the other 3, produce a 75 cents mask right now and sell it at the pharmacy as much as people are selling cloth masks to school children. There's a market right there that if we're not focusing on N95, 98% efficiency, we could be mass producing for the general public.
And to add more to that, our strategy is not going to go into retail. We are getting orders. The discussion of the orders we have is like 200,000.
Hospitals.
200,000, 600,000. If we go overseas, let's say we station our machinery in Tanzania, whether it's in Zambia, whether it's we are supplying Southern Africa. And we just send bulk. Do you want 1 million masks? We'll give you on such a day. Do you want 200,000 masks? We'll give you such a date. And they go retail. That's the strategy. Edmund, your hand was up.
I was just going to follow up on this question. So on the certification, it's 100% it's going to come, or is there any chance it might not go through? Because sometimes you don't want to... Are you sure 100% that you're at 70, but you're going to get to 100%?
So I'll answer that.
Yeah.
What happens is they cannot say no. It's like ISO 9003. I'm pointing at you because he has been through those things. It's standardization. You need to meet these parameters. We have no choice. We have to meet those parameters to get certification. There is no ways you can put a mask like that in the hospitals if it's not certified by the authorities. It's like getting in a plane which is not signed off by an engineer. That's why people in the plane sleep, because they know I signed it. That is why. That is, for the past 15 years, that's what I did in oil and gas. I signed off turbines. Going at very speed, I would say this machinery is good. For the past 15 years, my job, I would get in the morning, in my morning meeting, people would walk to me and say, we want this equipment running. The next thing is, do you realize we're losing 7 million a day? That's the language every day I was faced with. So this is a walk in the park.
Okay, maybe the last question.
Yes.
So when it comes to investment,
Yes.
there's zero if you are out. If you don't jump into the bandwagon.
Correct.
And what is the maximum?
Maximum investment. We said we will give 30%, 450K.
Now we are talking about dollars.
450,000. You give us 450,000, you take all the shares.
What? 450,000?
Yeah, it's nothing for us.
So if I give you 450,000,
You get
No,
30%.
No, I get
30%, we still have 70.
450,000.
We have put millions in this company.
Okay. Yeah, because these people, you know, they get wages You know, so they don't understand.
Don't understand
Big numbers.
They don't understand those numbers.
So we have invested through our personal investments. So in terms of the loan, we do have a strong balance sheet. In terms of the loan, we didn't borrow anything against our assets as the material in this year. Just in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So an investment you expect from individual is from $0 to.
I see your question.
From zero to
I-
whatever you can.
I get your question. We broke it down to say if one person brings in 2,500, it's reasonable as a starting share. We don't prefer
Also, that's 2,500.
2,500,
That's a.
2,500 up to about 5,000. The idea is to accommodate more people as possible and to go into people's comfort zone. It does not mean that's the all money we have. We find it a number which is someone can digest. Let's say someone comes and say, I've got $200. We may say no, right? Someone comes and says we have $10,000. We may say yes. This is the formulas we're working with. But you need to have this, your name put in the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. It means you are working with me. We are going the finer details. That's why we have a breakout room for that purpose.
Okay, so the minimum is about 2,500.
For now, yeah?
Canadian, not US dollars.
Canadian.
And time check, Mr. Solomon. We need to move on to the
Okay,
next.
yeah, 2,500, and then out of that 2,500, I get 30 cents on a dollar, so it means
6 cents.
6 cents.
30 is for the shares. They are selling 30% of the company to us.
No, if I put in the 2,500, so how much will I get at the end of the financial year?
Let's go next door.
We've had enough slideshows. I hope a lot of people who are trying to understand. It's not, we don't have, we are not questioning your integrity.
Yes.
We just want, because it's all about money and all that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we want everybody who's here, if they give you all the money, fine.
Great, yeah.
That's what you want, right? So I want all these people to be comfortable.
Remember, our motto is we touch it. You feel it. I've seen it. That's why I'm putting my money. So the briefest company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it. We look forward in doing big things with you, both in Canada and on projects abroad.